Hi, I'm Esty Buskin, and I'm here on Capitol Hill with some of the nation's top retirement plan advisors discussing how they're using their voices to advocate for change. Let's hear what they have to say. I'm here with Kim Cochrane, Director at HUB International. Kim, what inspired you to become an advocate in retirement policy, and how did you get started?
You know, I think we all come from very humble means, at least most of us. I grew up in a scenario where we weren't necessarily rich. We were very close to being poor, but nobody in my family had any information or knowledge on how to really prepare for their future. I had parents that didn't have a lot of money to put aside, put a little bit of money in IRAs here and there, but really didn't have a whole lot to speak of. And I remember being a child going through school and saying, "You're working really hard. Why is there nothing at the end of the day, that you can rely upon?" I make a joke that when people in my family die, we all have to reach into our pockets and pull out money to pay for it. I didn't want that to be a scenario that I lived through or that my kids lived through. So that really shaped kind of who I am and why we do all the things that we do.
Very inspiring. Thank you for being here. What are some of the most pressing topics on Capitol Hill today?
You know, there's a big problem with not enough people having access to retirement plans, and those that do don't have enough education or knowledge on what to do. And as an industry, we've spent a lot of time pushing, you have to save more. But we haven't done a good job on figuring out how to spend it in retirement. So we really need some scenarios coming out of Congress and Senate that help employees make good decisions with guidance. Almost helping them get to that perfect utopia, right? Having some implementations where we're talking about income programs, a paycheck for life. If that was implemented on a legislative level, it would be very easy for people to be able to retire and have dignity, have guaranteed income, and to feel good about what they've done. So that's really, I think, the big push. We need to help employees help themselves.
No, absolutely. And what's one key takeaway you're hoping to take away from your experience today?
I'm just hoping that we can help move the concept forward about retirement planning, that we need help from legislation, we need help from Congress and senators. We need to focus on those that don't have and help them build a retirement that matters, build generational wealth where it never existed before. So that is my big focus today.
And one last question for advisors who haven't really gotten started with retirement advocacy. What's something that you might recommend so that they can just get started?
Get involved. It can be overwhelming to go to the Hill and to talk with congressmen, senators, but it's actually really compelling. They want to hear from us. We represent our employers and our clients, and their challenges that they're running through, sometimes the legislators don't know. They start a rule, they make a law, they have no idea what the impact's going to be. So they need our expertise. So that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Esty.
Thank you for watching. At Nuveen and TIA, we're dedicated to partnering with retirement plan advisors to drive meaningful change that will create brighter futures for American workers. To learn more, like or follow us on social media.